Hey, what's up everybody around the world? Welcome back to another tutorial in Revit Global Knowledge. Today I'm going to show you how to create wire mesh fence in Revit. Here is a requesting from my subscriber for this tutorial. As you can see on my screen here is my wire mesh fence before we jumping into our project. This one is a wire mesh fence that I am using for generate model pattern best to create that. Here is the pole that we create by using our reference line plus with our circle shape and some more for wire mesh here. I'm going to add another wire mesh here for a parameter family using generate model pattern base also. And the final one here is our 3D when we apply into our project is a realistic wire mesh fence to create that. But my suggestion, try to use for wire mesh inside on the center here. Try to using for texture is better. The reason because when you are using for realistic wire mesh, it's your file will be too heavy, so your project will be running too slowly. It depends on your PC spec or laptop spec also. But anyway, today I'm going to show you how to model the rest from start to finish. And my suggestions then again, wire mesh try to using for texture is better, so your project will be working so smoothly. And of course for wire mesh, actually when you apply your project to rendering program like Enscape, Lumiere or V-Ray, for wire mesh texture will be transferred to realistic. Not worry about that. But if you want to create some kind of realistic inside your project by using your wire mesh frame and your laptop or PC is 64 GB, RAM is 64 is okay already, because my laptop here spec only for RAM only 16. That's why my PC will be, my laptop will be slowly when I apply those kind of realistic wire measurement that create from our generate model pattern base. Anyway, now let's follow along together for this tutorial. And before I get things started, I would like to ask you, and this is your first time reaching out to my channel and you want to learn more about Revit, make sure hit subscribe button below and turn off for notifications so you won't miss my future tutorial, because I got a lot of amazing idea from beginner to advanced level in my channel for Revit tutorial only. Okay, so now let's jump into our project together. Before let's jump that, I need to close some window first, easier for us to recognize which one we start first. Now I want to close 3 of them first. Simply close that because before I have saved already, so I don't care about that. Okay, so now I am in Revit Autodesk 2021 student version. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to create our pattern. Go to family, then go to new, English for metric, drop down finding for generate model pattern base. In my case there, you can using for adaptive component also can. It depend on what you expert on that. For me, I like to use generate model pattern base. Most of my tutorial is using generate model pattern base. Okay, so now here just a normal panel there. What I need to do first, I'm going to select my panel here. Then I want to give a accurate size 3 meter by 3 meter. It's easier for us in a square one. Okay, now let's place our reference point to create our pole and our wire mesh texture. Go to reference plane there, then place for point, simply pass for here 1 and 2, then hit escape a couple times. I'm going to select my point here and hold control key on my keyboard. Make sure I'm going to offset this one for 3 meter for our height top, and of course I will assign for associate family parameter as well. I will create that, let's say make it for Thai, and I want to make it for a quick name for top offset. It's easier for you to understand. My suggestion is try to using for full name, easier for you to recognize. And sometimes you collaboration with your teamwork, they're also easier to check in. You don't need to create some Excel file to notate those kind of parameter name there, because my teamwork also struggling about that. Actually, now I'm going to create another one point here, plus here 1 and 2, hit escape a couple times, and this time I will make it for bottom offset, just make it for 200 millimeter, and of course assign for X8 family as well, and we just quick name give it for bottom offset, then hit OK. Perfect. Now it's time to create our panel. I go to my reference here using for line, then start from our first point here, second, third, 4 and 5. Hit escape a couple times. When you press that, make sure you turn on for 3D snapping. Then I can select my panel here, consider create form, solid form. One, we got two options there. One is extrusion, one is surface. I prefer for surface, and select my surface panel here, device surface. And of course I will change for material as well for hexagon in this time, and I will change it for fixed distance, and this guy over there fixed distance as well. Make it for let's say we make it for 60 by 45. I think is enough for hexagon side. Apply. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to hide my those elements first. Select all here, then click on our class C there, hide element. I'm going to hide this panel as well. Hide element again. Perfect. It's time to create our pole. I'm going to my reference there, select my line, start from our bottom one until our top one here, and continue to another side there, then hit escape a couple times. I will continue to create here as well for our bottom there, because our bottom we also need for some pole as well. Hit escape a couple times on my keyboard, go to reference, plus point, plus 2 point there, 1 and 2, hit escape a couple times, set plan. Then I'm going to set for horizontal there, circle. I can start here, make it something like this, and I give for parameter as well, create parameter, make it for structure pole. Yep. Then go to family type there. I will change my structural pole to let's say we make it for 100. I think it's enough. Apply. Okay, rescale that for 1 by 10. Again, we need to set a work plan before we place our circle here. Here in the case, I will prefer for vertical there, as you can see. Then go to our circle, start from here, make it like this, and assign for a new parameter as well. Select my dimension inside here, drop down finding for structural pole. Okay, now it's perfect. It's time to create our pole shape. I can select my circle there, select my reference plan here also, then simply create form and solid form. As you can see, we got our pole already, and there I'm going to create our pole as well. Okay, perfect. The reason I never create pole there, later on you will know the reason. And now I want to assign for material as well. I can select all like this, then take a look on our toolbar there, select our filter, simply check none and open take back for curtain panel. The reason here is a curtain panel. You can take a look there is a material family, category and parameter, so that you will know that. And I can select my material or my property panel, create new, simply give a name for structure pole material. Yep. Then I can hit OK. Perfect. Let me reevaluate my element first. Okay, perfect. It's time to create our wire mesh inside here. I can go to my file there, then drop down finding for family, English, then we're using for generate model pattern base again, double click here. I can select here. As I remember, my horizontal is 45 and my vertical is 60. Okay, this one actually I need to change shape for hexagon first. Yep, perfect. Go to reference and point. Place another point to create our structure same as before. Set a plane, set for vertical, start for rectangle, for circle, and start here. And of course I will assign for, okay, I select line here. For parameter as well, create new and make this for wire mesh side. Yep. And I can select my circle here, zoom in a bit, select my reference for hexagon, create form, solid form, perfect. Make it for one by one and I can select all like this. Filter again, check none, curtain panel, apply, it's okay. Then assign for new material as well. Wire mesh material. It's okay again, perfect. It's time to load into our project. I can load into our project here. Then simply select my panel, drop down for hexagon. As you can see, here is our family file for our wire mesh there. I can select here. So file will be generating become wire mesh. Still, hit escape a couple times. As you can see, it's quite realistic for our wire mesh still there. Let me change structure to, okay, we just leave it like this. I don't want to change actually. 100 is enough for that. Then I can go to my file there, or I can hit escape first, control and on my keyboard for new project, and we're using for metric architecture template. It's okay. Before I create and placing my mask, I'm going to create some simple 2D line first. Li on my keyboard for shortcut key. I simply start from the first one here and make it for 30 meter. Hit escape a couple times. Then copy to another side there. We make it for 4 meter enough. Hit escape a couple times. Let me copy first. 4 meter. Yep, perfect. Let me go to my 3D first. Okay, again I need to copy again basically. Okay, perfect. Go to my component, drop down finding for model in place, just going down finding for mask. Okay, mask 1 and pick line. I can pick first one, second one, hit escape a couple times. Let two of them here, create form, solid form, and use for surface. Perfect. Select my surface form here, divide surface, and make it for fixed distance and fixed distance. Same as our pattern is 3 meter by 3 meter. If you remember that, apply. Okay, I think something went wrong. Let me select back first. See what happened. 3 meter by 3 meter, but there we got something went wrong. Okay, we just leave it like this first. Then I can go to my 3D pattern base, the first one. Just load into our project. Go to project 2, then hit OK. Now file is transferred from family to our project file, but of course our file will be too heavy. This is the reason I still keep reminding you, try to avoid that and try to using our texture for wire mesh, because will be make your PC or laptop slowly because of that. Then I can press, now it's time to press that CM on my keyboard for shortcut key. Okay, so now we wrong already actually because we need to open our node point first. Easier for us to apply our family WireMesh fam. Okay, as you can see here, processing is try processing and regenerating. This is the reason very slow one. Okay, as you can see again, try to avoid that. Let me hit escape a couple times first. Okay, now it's like my panel here again. I need to open node first actually. Open node. Okay, perfect. See, I'm on my keyboard again. So now file will be generating. I will start press that and wait and see the result together for the final one. Okay, as you can see here is very slow one. Okay, so it's time to press that. I will start for first one here, one, and second here, two, and third one here. Let me see first, come on. Okay, let me zoom in first in case I press wrong. Okay, it's there. Third point. Same thing is you are using for adaptive component is same thing. Adaptive component is more heavy than that. Hit escape a couple times because I want 3 point is enough already for our pattern here. If you are directly using our pattern to apply that, sometimes it's working properly and sometimes not properly. It depend on your file here. As you can see, it's perfect. I don't know because of some reason. Sometimes I just like here, then I simply apply my pattern on that is working properly. But sometimes is we need to place like that. I don't know the reason at all actually. To be honest, then I can select all here. Select my WireMesh fan. Simply go to repeat tab. Then we'll be repeating. So far we'll be generating again. This is the too heavy process, but after you apply that, after that is your file is easier than before because here is involved for generating about WireMesh. This is the reason. It is 49% as you can see. Okay, 49%. Come on. I think the long part is about placing hover component. Yeah, I think like this. Okay, almost done. Come on. Okay, perfect. As you can see, then I can simply hit finish first. Either we hit finish must also take time, as you can see. Try to use texture. If using texture, it might be faster than that. And texture, you don't need to go Google and find that. You just simply go to Revit library for WireMesh texture. Also got that. Just apply from that for apparent library. Okay, just finish our mask. Also take time, but after that your file will be running properly. Don't worry about that. Okay, so now we finished our fan WireMesh already, as you can see here. It's quite fast and quite looking cool. If I turn on for shadow, will be much more realistic. as you can see. And of course, for the final part there, you can create another pose by using our generic model pattern base or adaptive component, just using plus our 2 point there to finish the rest. And sometime in my case here, I just want to lift it like this because here will be connect until from my wall there. I just create another wall. It's done already. Let me go to my level 1 first. Then WA on my keyboard for shortcut key, and I start here for finish first interior, and I'm going to make it for until level 2 only. Zoom in nearer, start from here. Okay, start here like this one, hit escape a couple of times, go back to my 3D there. As you can see, it's perfect already. Okay guys, I think it's pretty much for this tutorial. Thank you for joining me from start to finish. Just a quick tutorial and tip and trick to get our realistic wire mesh fan in Revit. It's a parametric also. Actually, if you arrange it properly, will be parametric. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and I see you for another tutorial in Revit. And don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe for motivate me to bring more professional content about Revit. Thank you for watching, and I see you for another tutorial in Revit, and have a nice day.